And and just different versions of automation that are becoming more and more accessible to enhance your abilities, and that's what I'm enjoying. But in the process, I do catch. I'm not spending a lot of time watching information on robotics at this point in time, but I did catch a video the other day, and especially with like Elon launching, show and them starting to show robots that can work in your kitchen, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing is a quick growth in dexterity. And at some point in time, when the robot can finally do this, um, and show up at your house, that's what makes me nervous. Um,
Yeah, I think that's outside of our lifetime, but
I hope you're
I'm sure
right.
I'm sure it will happen, but
I
I
hope
don't
you're
see it.
right. I really do. You might have a better understanding, having the understanding of engineering processes better than I do, for sure.
Let me give you an example then, Scott, just to sort of help why I think this is not a practical proposition at the moment, even with a very sophisticated robot with AI, because you know as well as I do, when you go to a treadmill, the first thing you've got to do is take the cover off, and
Hmm.
and often those screws are going to be corroded in. The treadmill will be so close to the wall, the first thing you've got to do is actually move it. Um, the screw won't want to come out because it's been corroded in because it's not been off for maybe 5 or 10 years. Then you take the lid off, then it's got to be vacuumed out, and then you try and think of a robot that could practically do that. I mean, we're not talking about a robot that's vacuuming your kitchen. This is a relatively straightforward, simple process with no motions, no controls. It's repeatable and predictable. What we're doing is it's at a high level, it's repeatable and predictable, but there's a heck of a lot of things that we do without thinking about it, which would be incredibly difficult to automate.
Yeah,
Um,
understood. Understood.
how is a robot going to drill out a screw? How is a robot going to move the treadmill out to get the angle right, to get to the on-off switch? You think of all those movements that we do, and often we're working on our back, on our knees, and that's why I think it's this idea is beyond our lifetime because all of those nuances that are needed to do that. I'm not saying that we don't have the technology to do it, but that technology has got to be developed and it's got to be debugged and it's got to be the solutions have got to be built practically. We're not talking about just a software algorithm that can relearn, learn and learn and learn and do this over 24 hours. We've got to actually build something, try it, test it, see how it works, iterate it and iterate it and iterate it. And I think that's going to take a long, long time.
That makes me feel better. I look at it as like the peanut butter and jelly problem. When,
Yeah.
if you ever, it's the one thing I learned some time ago is when you're trying to teach something, it's much harder than what most people realize, especially if you're writing it out. Ask someone to t teach you how to build a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And in theory, that's simple,
Oh,
right?
exactly right. It's a great example, isn't it? Yeah.
When you ask them, okay, teach me all the steps that they take for granted, that they don't think about, they just do.
Yeah.
No,